I'm going to do it now as I've shared it into I Love You Me group. Here we go.
Yeah, I Love You Me community.
And everybody that's hearing this, I mean, join these groups. They're amazing spaces of information, of sharing, of love.
Yeah.
Community.
I have the Divine Feminine Roundtable too. A lot of people actually that are in my community now came through those Divine Feminine Roundtables. That was such a magical time when we started doing that. Really, really cool. I really loved the vibe of that. And you were, of course, you were on it as well, weren't you, Mary, once or twice?
Twice, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was super fun to have little chats, isn't it?
Gosh, when you get a group of powerful people together and then they're women as well on top of that, it's like tuned in, plugged in.
Brilliant. That's all shared. Hi, everybody. Happy Saturday. And with me, I have the beautiful Tara Love Perry. She's right now in the UK.
Woo!
Yeah.
I keep saying that. I am. I'm like, yay! I'm in that exalted, happy, excited energy of creation at the moment, very much so.
Good. I love it. And just for anybody that doesn't know Tara, that's joining on my pages, if in case you haven't heard me speak of her before, because she's often thrown into
where you been?
Her name peppers so much of my conversations.
It does. You're such a darling with that.
And Tara Love Perry. And in all seriousness, just so that you hear a little bit about Tara. Tara was one of my first mentors. You were my very first mentor in I Love You Me, the I Love You Me and soul reading method. And I met Tara back in November 2017. And Tara, she is what we might call a leading self-love expert. For sure. You taught me so much about self-love. And she is a pioneer in her field with this. She's brought through techniques to allow people to connect into themselves in a really simple way where everybody can do it, from the old to the young. And that's the technique I Love You Me. And I know some of you have worked with me on this, and it's from Tara that I learned this technique. She developed it. And I remember the very first time I met you, Tara, you talked about self-love, and I knew that was the ingredient I was missing at the time on my journey. And you mentioned, and this is the first time I think I had heard this languaging, because it was also new to me, about bringing in a self-love revolution to the consciousness of Earth. And that's what Tara is about. She is all about spreading it, teaching it, embodying it, sharing it, and just letting it filter out. Tara, I don't know if I'm doing you any justice saying it this way, but just some simple words to kind of who you are for me, so others can hear them so much more as well.
Thank you, my angel.
Would you like to add anything to that I'm kind of missing out?
No, you covered it. It was beautiful. Thank you.
Oh.
No, it's always very humbling listening to anybody kind of, introduce me or describe me, and it's like, yeah, that's what I do. That's me. And it's like, but it's always, it's a real honor. And of course, the fact that you and I started out with that student-teacher dynamic, and then we've become so close. And yeah, it's just really wonderful. Because I always said it, the people that come and share in this community, share in this consciousness, and those who get it, best company ever. Best company ever. Because you're walking with a sovereign being. You're walking with somebody who is aspiring, and not just aspiring, but also kind of, I'm reluctant to use the word working towards. Like, we always call it the work. I think, was it Byron Katie who started this thing called the work, and we call it the work. I think it was Byron Katie. Maybe it was someone else. And it's like, so we talk about our spiritual growth or our consciousness evolution as the work. And yes, sometimes it is work. But I also feel like, but it's just growing. is just growing. So aspiring and growing with people who are conscious of their own true nature and their own heart, and willing to be conscious of all the things that aren't integrated, the fragments, what people call the shadow, and to become whole and not ignore, deny, be unresponsible for, dump on other people, the people that take responsibility for that and own themselves fully. My goodness, best people to be around ever. So as you're the best people, Mary Catherine.
It's true though. I mean, for me, when okay, I'll go back to the very start. I think I was seeing a therapist at the time. Coming out of a lot of mental health stuff, a lot of physical illness, a lot of pain body stuff. And I was on that journey of, I don't want to live this way. It's either I live this way or I check out and just say, that's it, that's enough. I'm done here. And I didn't really want that. I'd made a choice. And a word you use is, you made a transformational choice, Mary.
I feel like that. Like Mary.
But it was true. I made this transformational choice to say, I'm here and I'm staying here. I'm going to choose life. Yeah. And it was how the heck do I do this? Excuse my language, but that's what it was. It was literally, how the hell do I do this? And people came in when I asked the how. It kind of opened up, and it was a lady called Emma, and she goes, I think you need to see somebody. You're in Ireland, she's in the UK. She's hosting something next week, and her name is Tara Love Perry. And I've told you this story so many times, but your name held a vibration that made my body shake. Like, my body had a whole reaction. I nearly fell off the chair, I remember. And I was like, I'm going to get plane tickets right now and go. And that was the start. I trusted, I followed the craziness of that situation. And here we are today, through many, many years of me growing, learning, becoming very good friends. I mean, you're one of my best friends, like your inner circle. And amazing growth, like complete healing, zero pain body, on my life path purpose. You were that guide for me. And it's not like you told me anything, it's that you showed me tools that I could use for myself. And you embodied that I could see, if she can do it, I can do it. Even if she's struggling, she's moving through it. It's like you were real as well. Really real about everything. Maybe that's what's missing sometimes as well. We don't see the realness. And you were always that, and you were always so honest in integrity with me in every step of the way. And I love you for that. You taught me a lot. So true. I'm very giddy right now, because I'm like super excited to have you here chatting. And my friend Natalie is here too, and she's another lady we met through Tara. And I've just been blowing bubbles beforehand. So I'm in a very playful mood, and Tara brings that out as well in everybody, because it's about the inner child, right? That's what you showed me, was my inner child. Thank you, Tara.
I'm so happy. It's so lovely to hear that. It's so moving to hear that, because I was the same as you. Back when I was 24 years old, I was like, I'm done. I was so ill. I'd had enough. You know the story. I just wanted out. And I know a lot of people, maybe I had it young, maybe it's the time now when more people than ever are feeling like this. Like, this world is a serious shit show. What you see on the surface, what appears to be the reality, it's a complete mental breakdown everywhere, like on show. And of course, you're going to doubt your own sanity. You're going to doubt your own reason for being. You're going to be like, why am I here amidst this total and utter self-annihilation, right? Sacrificial consciousness that is just destructive to every element of life. Like, that's what we're seeing mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually on all levels now. And if it wasn't seen for people 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, as it was for where I was at with it then, and yourself, then we're certainly seeing it now. Like, you cannot ignore. And so you either have to kind of play along with that psychosis and be psychotic in the psychosis, To even believe it's real, you have to deny yourself. You have to deny your true self. To join in with this psychotic society and say, oh no, this is reality. This is the new normal.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, you're not okay if that's what you're saying, if that's what you're having to believe. But people feel like they have no choice because, like you said, well, what's the other alternative? I can't see one. There is no other option but to go with the general herd.
Right.
Like little lemming. I keep seeing this image of little lemmings falling off the cliff, you know, and it's like they're all still going. And I'm not saying this to put anybody down and dismiss anybody's choices, but it's like, let's be honest, it's not okay what's going on in the world. It's completely insane.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the deepest compassion and understanding for that, because that was me too. You know, you want to join in, you want to go, I want to be normal, I want to fit in, I want to be loved, I need to be myself, I need to find myself, I need to succeed in this crazy environment, so that I am worthy, so that I have a purpose and a meaning and reason for being. Because if you don't, who are you? What the heck are you doing here? Who dropped you on this planet? Where are you supposed to be? You know what I mean? It's like, how do I fit in with this? And that can be maddening, and that can make people feel like they're going crazy. And it does, right? We know this.
100%. It's more intense now than it ever has been at any other point in time, I feel. Ever. And because of that intensity, there might even be that shock factor of people going, oh, what now?
It's like you wake up in a bad dream and you think it's just going to be a dream, and you wake up tomorrow and it's not there, and it's like, no, it's actually happening.
You're in the middle of it.
You're in the middle of the matrix, you're in the middle of the movie. And what do you do to get out of the movie? That's the thing. And I was very blessed because I reached that point at 24. I was like, I don't want to live, I don't want to be here. And then it was actually the love in my heart, because I was very connected to source, to spirit, always have been. And I just listened to it was actually, I was going to say subtle. It wasn't so subtle. It was a very strong feeling in my heart. It's like, no, you're here for a reason, and love is the reason. I didn't say that in those words, because the heart doesn't talk in words in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I certainly wasn't feeling loved, and I certainly didn't feel like I belonged, and there was a reason for me to exist at that time. But that's what I listened to. And then, of course, when you follow your heart, you're following the truth, you're following the guidance from your creator source, your higher intelligence, your whatever you want to call it. And how I got here and everything I've learned has been by the grace of that source consciousness, by the great intelligence, by creator, by God, whatever you want to call it. It's been by the grace of that. And I can only be in that environment of realness, because anything that is less than vulnerable, transparent, honest, open, it's like something doesn't sit right with me. It's like I feel safe in myself, but it's like there's that feeling of like a child. Can we just all be us, please? We don't have to pretend. No walls, no fakeness, no barriers, no lying, no manipulating. Can we just make each other safe? Can we just be safe together in this environment because then our hearts can stay open. Then we can just manifest the most incredible creation ever, because we're kind of, in the lap of creator source, if you like. We're in the lap of the greatest consciousness, the divinity and the beauty and the magic of being a human being. You're in that lap, and it's like, what else can we create? Right. And it's so much fun. But anytime you have that, the mistrust, the self-doubt, the fear creeping in, because there's no transparency, there's no honesty, there's a lack of integrity, there's obstacles and barriers and walls, it throws it all out of kilter. It's like, mm-hmm. And then you can't operate from your true source anymore. You can't operate as a true soul. So it's really important. Like, how else do you live but as yourself? Honestly.
Yep.
What else would you choose? Why would you do that? Doesn't make any sense when you think about it like that, does it?
No, not at all. It's too painful. And that's what's happening. I think it is too painful for us to be asleep in that or ignore that anymore. And the question I feel that a lot of the collective and even people I know are, but what else is there? And how do I do that?
Mm.
And I know that we'll all have different pathways, journeys on how we get the keys for ourselves, if you want to call it like a key to grace, a key to understanding, a key to love, a key to healing.
Mm.
And I suppose the how is, well, what do I need right now in this moment? What resonates with me in this moment to move through the falseness, to move through the manipulation, to move through the corruption and come back to center? What's that for you right now? Because it changes sometimes depending on where we're at in our journey.
I think it always starts with a decision, like the transformational decision. Because, you know, when you said that, I have this image of like, there's one land, a cliff edge, and then one of those horrible little wooden or rope bridges that go across the chasm. You know, those horrible bridges, and they're like,
oh, I get sick even thinking about it when I was walking.
Don't imagine it. It's like, oh, don't look down. And then there's the other side, right? And people, I always see it like this. Humanity has been walking so long across this unstable, shaky, dodgy rope bridge away from who we are. And we have been lured and trained and manipulated and tricked and forced and bullied and pushed and coerced to do that journey away from ourselves. Prodded across, you know, get across that bridge, get to the other side of who you are not. You know, don't be you, don't be yourself, don't be honest, don't be loving, don't be real. And it's trained out of us. And it was trained out of our ancestors before us, and it was trained out of them. So it's like we're all walking on this rope bridge or on the other side going, and how do I get back? It's not even some people realizing that there is another choice, that you can get back. And I don't know how, therefore, I don't have a choice. Right. And I hear that so much. I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. I'm like, you always have a choice, because it is your God-given right. You were born with this. No one can take it away from you. Mm-hmm. They can trick you into thinking that you don't. Mm-hmm. They can pull the smoke and mirrors so that you really can't see another option, but you always have a choice. And it's not just between one or two or A and B, it's of anything. And if the choice is, I need truth, I need reality, I need me, I need to come back to that part of me that is aching and hurting because something massive is missing. And I'm going to make a choice to actually be true to myself and know who I am, finally know who I am, know why I'm here. Then you've got to go back across that rope bridge, I'm afraid. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, I've been backwards and forwards across that rope bridge so many times, thousands and thousands and thousands of times. Like, I'm like a real good guide to get across that bridge so that you're not scared and freaking out, but so that you're thriving and that you're getting it and you're taking steps back to yourself. Mm-hmm. So it's way better than the steps away from yourself, because you're actually feeling better. Every step you take feels better and better and better and better, right? So it's a really, really good journey. And you remember all these things and you re-embody all these things, and you just rediscover all your gifts and your magic and your amazingness. And Mary, I really do believe, like, in all the things I've seen in my life, which of course is not everything in the world and everything that's on offer, but having been in this spiritual alternative healing environment my entire life, yeah. And from all of the soul readings and the things that I've been blessed to actually understand and witness, I do believe that the underlying foundation, whatever tool, whatever mechanism, whatever it is that you want to use to heal yourself, to come home to your truth, the foundation is a bed of self-love. Whether you use I love you, me to accomplish that or something else, mm-hmm. But the foundational crux of that, what can I say? It's like because it has to be so in you. That love that we're looking for has to be so embodied, so actualized in the self, that you you are the love, and that you know it and you feel it, and you have to unconditionally love every single part of yourself, reclaim every single part of yourself to actualize and be the love that you actually are. Like scoop up the pieces. You know, so that is the fundamental basis, I believe, for this ascension, for our conscious evolution, for our magnificence as we, you know, transform. And that's a whole another road that we could start talking about. But I don't know. I'm going to pause it there. The light body and all that stuff. No, but self-love, it's the foundation of all of it. Whichever method you use or whichever route you take.
That is so true. It's a journey, always. For me, anyway. It's like, you know, you do this and use these different tools, and you have a breakthrough, and you're like, and then something else happens. You're like, whoa, how much more? How much more? Is this sense of like using these tools, moving into self-love as the basis, but also it's the basis of expansion. And you use the word transformation. For me, it was something I talked about with Natalie this morning. We're all going to be unique little fingerprints, right? We're all little unique. God goes boop, and you're your own unique fingerprint, and I'm my own unique fingerprint. And what makes me tick, feel self-love, what also takes me out of it may be slightly different, but there tends to be some core stuff that's similar among everybody, and some core keys that bring us back for everybody. I suppose where I'm going with this is, even today, I had something pop up from what somebody said over the weekend. And this is, you know, what brings me joy. I love color. I love textures. I love lippy. I love this thing of beauty, right? Beauty for me is an expression of self-love. Rather than vainness, funny enough. For me, it's like the textures, the smells, the sounds, the taste, all this amplifies for me that field of love, and it feels like I can spread it out even more. It's very expansive. And I know it can sound superficial, but when I move into a certain frequency of that, I see life differently, and I see others and how they interact with me differently. And I'm going to give a little example of that, because I'm in that frequency the last few days, and I've been working with Venus codes a lot. And you know, there's some police yesterday on the road, and I kind of parked a little behind somebody. There was a little arseways park. I wasn't blocking anybody. But the gentleman in question came up a bit authoritarian. I didn't even perceive that. It wasn't until somebody else said it to me, because all I saw was love in his soul, and I was joyously back to him, of course, you know. And somebody else goes, that would have really annoyed me. And I go, I didn't even notice that, because I don't see life that way anymore. Everything, when you help me kind of find those keys to get that foundation in self-love, and I still have a long way to go in some areas, but life is very different. Maybe it's because I'm stepping so far outside of, if you want to call it, two bubbles, one of distortion and one that is more truth. Our perception changes of everything, even if it's somebody's been shitty to you. I don't feel that anymore. It just is. It's like nothing sticks in that same way. Does that make sense? They could literally be firing crap.
Absolutely. It's like if you have a radio station that's tuned out, and it's all, you know, you got the high pitched and the feedback, and it's dissonance. And if whoever's used to living in that world of dissonance, you get used to it, but it's never nice, and you're just firing off, and you're just not yourself at all. You're tuned out. So of course, when you come into the place of harmony, it's a completely different reality. Everything is different. You function differently. Your mind functions differently. Your perception functions differently. Your hormones, your body, your everything starts to function differently. And therefore, then you are just beaming that out, and everything that comes back to you is different. You literally have an entirely different reality. And there's many stories of people that have come through this I love you, me journey. And it doesn't end, by the way. It never ends.
No.
That doesn't end. And yes, you keep expanding and then think you can't expand anymore. And then you can, and then you can, and then you can, because it's infinite. So yes, it's like totally, how much can I surrender to the bliss and the love? And where does my own little ego sense of self come into that? How do I keep up or let go? Or what do I do with that? That's another conversation. But then it's just that expansion, 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 expansion. And life gets more and more full, more and more colorful, more and more beautiful, more and more amazing. And yeah, and when those little things come along, like, okay, there's still a little bug in the system here, Tara. I've had one recently that I came through. Bug in the system. This is an old thing. You need to wrap it up. This needs to be taken care of. This no longer fits. Mm-hmm. It didn't really ever fit, but you try to make it fit into who you are and bring it with you. And we're sorry, it can't come. And having to deal with that, I'm saying that's my voice of my higher self saying that to me. I'm sorry, Tara, this can't come. And I'm like, no, but. And then, then of course, you can go back in and go, okay, what is this? What is this painful thing? What is this painful understanding, this painful memory? But then you also have the tools to deal with it. You have the slipstream, the quick version, the ease version. It's never easy going in to face your deepest pain points and your deepest, wants or unmet needs or whatever part of yourself. But when you have the means to do that, and it's so fluid and so easy that you can move through it completely differently. You're not banging your head against a brick wall anymore going, I can't get through this. Oh, this again. Oh, this again. You just go in, clean it, undo it, done. Different experience than the struggle year after year after year of trying to deal with the same thing, or get out or release or let go of something. It's just completely different experience.
Is there anything that you'd like to share, like where you were able to discover that deeper foundation of love in the last while, like a new step? Is there anything you'd like to share? Or
I could do, yeah. I mean, there is always more love. That's the thing. That is the thing. And I was really living what I felt was a very blissful life. I literally have, like you said, living in this space of true self, and more and more and more of that in love, like things manifest really quickly, and easily. And it's like the heart dreams something, and then the next minute it's real, and you're living it. And then it's just like, wow, that gratitude, that amazement, that awe, that childish awe, like, wow, every day, wow, I'm living in the exact thing that my heart dreamed, and I was living it in the south of France. I was so happy. But there was a dissonant component in that, in my relationship, my personal relationship, that I have, I've been in physically in this world for 11 years, on and off, the twin flame, what people call the twin flame, the equal and the opposite, like the yin and the yang. There was that entanglement. But it goes obviously way longer than just the 11 years of this lifetime. It felt to me like something that had gone on for lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes, right? And it's just in my soul. It was like seeing a half of my soul, or a part, or another me in a different body, acting very differently to how I act, thinking and being the exact opposite of me. But it's still me. That's how I was experiencing it. And that's how he was experiencing me. Except I can understand you're me. And he was like, no, you're nothing like me. You should be more like me. Interesting. But what happened was, I guess I was fighting with myself over this for a long time. You've seen me in that journey. I've struggled with this because I did not want to let go. I had such a strong conviction so deeply in me that I couldn't abandon this other me. I couldn't abandon the love of my life. And this man, even though the way he does things and the way he says things to me are shocking and horrific and horrible and painful, I, for some reason, still loved him. He was still lovable. He's a human being, you know, he's a beautiful human being. I saw a lot of light in him. I saw a lot of good in him. And I just loved him anyway. It didn't matter. I loved all of it. Yeah. And so, because I'm like, well, that's who I am, but also you're me. And that learning to love my opposite personified in him taught me so much about me and my self-love. I mean, massive amounts. He was, I would say, my best teacher, or one of my best teachers for self-love, because he was reflecting back to me the exact opposite of everything I stand for and everything I believe in and everything I believe I am. And it was like my shadow, my worst self, the parts that, you know, I haven't fed and grown. Here he was in front of me. So to love him as that personality unconditionally was like learning to love. It was exactly the same as learning to love and actually loving all those parts, the worst parts of myself, the hideous parts, you know, the bits that nobody wants to admit to.
Yep.
Push it deep down into the psyche. That's not me. That's not me. That's you. That's not me. That's you. You know, because I found myself projecting, and then I was like, hold on a minute, this is me. Interesting. So it was an amazing learning experience for me, and I wouldn't know what I know now or feel how I feel now, integrated what I have integrated now, without him as my reflection. And I absolutely unconditionally love him forever for that. However, the dissonance between us, because I'm getting more and more in my incredible, high, amazing, beautiful vibration, and for some reason, there's that everything in the universe was just saying that you guys, you're not working together. When I'm one vibration and he's another vibration, and they're two opposing, they have to move apart. And we kept going, no. And it was like, no, we want to be together, but we can't. And so it was huge. So what happened was I ended up having a shift of perspective. I saw some things that put his psychology under a different lens. And I was able to see it rather than from the soul connection or just as the heart connection and the way that I view things. I saw it with the psychological lens in place as well. And that really sharpened the focus. And I was like, this is not okay. Okay, this has got to end. What needs to happen for this untanglement, for the quantum entanglement that had happened? What needs to happen for this to be truly complete? And then I'm thinking, okay, so that we separate, but what I got was actually, no, I need to fully integrate. It needs to go the other way. And that full integration, and again, this is another subject, but the integration of one's twin flame, and whatever that means, and if that is the right language for it, and, you know, whatever, all those meanings. But I had that integration and I got it, and something clicked, something made sense. And then within days of that happening, then everything conspired very quickly to remove me from that situation. It was like a fast flowing river that just took me out very quickly. Miracles happened, things lined up, because I didn't know how that was going to happen. And it's like the universe just went, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. And everything unfolded, and the path unfolded. Literally, my dad was laughing, saying it's like the parting of the Red Sea, Tara, that got you here. Because it was like, looked impossible. But the moment the right thing was ready to happen, because I was ready, the moment I was ready, everything else, as if it was literally a miracle, happened, opened, to where I am now, in a really amazing place, actually. Externally amazing, but internally amazing as well. So, yeah, and of course I go through the emotions. Like yesterday was a bit of an emotional day for me. Was it yesterday? Can't even remember now. But then where the tools, you just go, okay, I can be with that. And then it just clears and it resolves. And it's like making peace really beautifully, seamlessly. It is such a blessing, Mary Catherine. It's such a blessing. that I was shown this and taught this, and because I needed it the most. I think I really believe that.
The word I'm hearing in my mind is the lesson was embodied, and that was it. Like a book, kind of a closing of lesson embodied. That's a big thing for our souls.
Massive.
Big thing.
I feel like I closed like a massive karmic cycle.
Yeah, like book.
And so many parts. It was so many parts integrated in that completion. So it feels enormous. And yeah, I guess I'm still kind of landing in the ripples of that.
Yeah.
Whoa. But that's the thing, isn't it? When you go through something yourself, and I always find this, I had no idea I'd end up being a healer or a teacher. I had no idea, like literally thought I was going to be some floaty little artist somewhere. But what happens is when you go through something yourself and you get the master key from it, and then you go, right, guys, anybody else need a master key for the same issue? Like, I've got one. It's really good. You want to use it? That's the cool thing, isn't it? Because yeah, there are some people that just go through things and then you kind of open the doorway for everyone else, or the people that are stuck, and say, hey guys, come this way. And here's the key. You do it for you. I'm not going to do it for you. Don't need to do it. Couldn't possibly, even if I wanted to, do it for you. It's a you journey. Right. Here's a key. Here's a really good key. Just use it. That's it.
Yeah, this will hold a space for you to do it. Here you go.
Yeah, it is. It's like a miracle key. It really is. It unlocks so much.
That word miracle, I keep hearing that in my mind while we're talking as well. Like, what is miracle energy? It's love creation energy. You know, because with self-love is creation energy. It's constant. And I'm going to just show my finger up to the, can anybody see
it? A little owie on your thumb.
A little boo-boo, right? So a little boo-boo, which looked a lot worse when it happened. But that's, for me, this is a miracle, because it needed, you know, doctors and pharmacists said I needed to go to hospital to get it stitched. Doctors fully are to get it stitched or glued, that, you know, because of the deepness of it, because of the nature of it. And I just use the techniques I learned with you, Tara, and others, and that belief, that self-belief, that love, creation energy. And within 5 minutes, closed, healed, blood stop, no pain, zero.
Wow, clever you.
Right? But that's only possible because I've gotten keys from not just you, but others. This is the journey, like that. How we learn how powerful we are, how self-healing we are. And self-love for me is about learning that. It's empowerment energy. I'd have used a mate. I use it for everything. You know, people ask me, I use it. It's not just for self-love for me. I use it for everything. I use it for my house. I use it for my plants. I use it for freaking everything.
Exactly. Magic cloth.
It's a cloth for me. And, you know, I move it between other things, but it is.
It is.
It's a cloth to clear where I can't see. It's a cloth to help me realize the truth. Like, and this looks like nothing now, but at the time, it was a whole coffee pot had gone through my hand, like, woof. But it just shows us what's possible, what we're possible. And it takes us to remember, because at the time I was nearly fainting as well. I was like, I was like, wait, you've got the tools. Why aren't you using them?
That's the decision part, right? The decision, because you just forgot that you knew how.
I forgot. It was like I had to remember, and I had to get that voice in my head, like, remember.
Yeah.
Not just talking about it, do it.
Yeah.
And that's, you're doing it for you. It's like we're doing it for ourselves. And in the doing, it's like a show and tell for others. Like, if I can, you can.
Yeah. You have to do it. That's the thing. You can't really talk about something and unless you're actually doing it. Like, I wouldn't listen to anybody and follow anybody's advice unless I saw them actually do it and use it and be real about it and not pretend like, oh, look at my amazing £1 million life. And it's like, actually the life is falling apart in every other direction. But, you know, on Instagram, it looks all shiny and perfect. you have to be real. You have to walk this, and you do that as well in an exemplary way, Mary Catherine. And that's why I love you so much. It's so easy to hang out with you because you're so much fun and you are so real. And then you can share the journey, right? Share the whole journey, not just, oh, let's go sailing on our £1 million yacht and have fun and, you know, look good to everybody, but share the real. It's out there, babes. And it's just over there.
Oh, your gas. It's true. Yeah. Yeah.
So, no, seriously, I don't have £1 million yacht. But, if I wanted one, I'd get one though, for sure. It would just manifest like right in front of me, splash. Like, there you go. Oh, okay.
The mini ones. I'm just teasing. Yeah. The cornflakes box.
Absolutely. Oh, anyone? Yeah. So, but that's the thing, isn't it? It's being able to share like that depth of our being. And the parts that are not nice and tricky and like ugly or whatever, and we didn't put lip gloss on them because, you know, whatever, we stuffed them away somewhere else and didn't like them, you know, but to be able to share that there's no words for the richness of that kind of sharing and connection. And I guess, you know, to have that with yourself first is where it's at. But then when you, I mean, this is what happened for me, and I think this happens for everybody. The moment I do that for myself and I do make that decision and I do remember, hey, me, I'm important, I matter, I'm loved. Mm-hmm. I need to be connected to, I need to be seen, heard, held, felt, you know, in every single way, shown up for, present, empathized with, totally there, present for. I need to be present for myself. Which is kind of funny, because how would you not be present for yourself? That's so weird, but that's what we do. But learning,
so like, easy to happen, like you're with everybody else,
right?
Because that's love. That's what we think is love as well.
But it sounds so crazy when you say it. How could you not be present for yourself or with your own self? It's kind of crazy. But anyway, the whole point, coming back across that rope bridge, is be present with yourself, fully 100% loving, showing up, human being, real human, true human being, showing up for yourself. And then all of those things change. And then you're just attracting other beautiful human beings who are showing up and being true to themselves too.
Yeah.
Which is what happens in my life. And I have you, and I have Natalie, and I have a bunch of incredible people in my world. There's just nothing we couldn't go through together or share that would be rejected and turned away and not loved. There's no fear, zero fear of showing up, who I am fully, you showing up fully, us showing up fully for who we are, in all of it. No fear of being unloved or rejected in any way, because there's that level of trust and love and reality. And that's extraordinary. That's exquisite. That is so rare on this earth. And it's so rich. So rich to have connections like that with yourself and then with others. And for me, Mary Catherine, that's the world I wanted to live in as a little girl. I wanted to live in a world where no one was pretending anymore. Nobody was lying. Nobody was faking. Nobody was in denial. And everybody could just be who they were and stop lying. Yeah. That's what that I remember as a 4-year-old. I was like looking at life, and super powerful moment. I was just like, I just want there to be more love on this planet. Real love, human love, not just spiritual out there with the angels love, but down here on earth, in the nitty gritty, in the deepest, darkest, dirtiest places. Even go into hell.
Yep.
More love in there. Put the light on. Someone put the light on. It's not as bad as it looks.
Yeah.
In the darkness. So just clean up.
And I think that word is like, okay, you've mentioned a few words here. Trust, unconditional trust with unconditional love. That's been a big part of my journey, to find that and to embody it. I have that with you, and I have it with Natalie. We're just talking about it this morning, actually. Clean up the dark, quote unquote dark. You know, what is dark? Dark's light that's been forgotten, light that's been rejected, love that's been constrained, taken away, abandoned, whatever word you want to use.
Yeah, denial of love.
Denial.
Lack. It's just lack, really.
Lack, and fight against it. Unworthy, whatever word you want to use, like insert here. I'm just kind of going, oh yeah, holy crap, because that's a big part of what, you know, in my workshops and courses and when I work with people and using the tools I learned with you was realizing, and I remember you used to get the cloth. You had this thing, how you teach is amazing, by the way. And you would say, like, this technique is about cleaning away, right? Because when we clean away, we give space for love, like we're cleaning away the distortion, the untruth, the pain, the hurt. And I Love You Me is that cloth, one of those cloths. I realized with the dark, it's not about us boxing it away, shielding it away, tying and binding it up and throwing it out into a void. It's actually speaking to it, acknowledging it. This is one of the core things, acknowledging it, seeing it, feeling it, hearing it. What does it need? And then, you know, giving it that choice. If it's within us, if it's outside of us, really, whatever reflection there is there, to come back home. That's
well, darkness always stays dark, and lack will always stay lack.
Lack will stay
if you abandon it.
Yeah.
And abandonment is how it got that way in the first place. So if you're going to keep on perpetuating, excuse me, the very damage that caused it to be dark and lacking and ill and sick and cancerous or whatever, evil in the first place, you keep on doing that, it's going to just get worse.
Yep.
And people say time heals. No, it doesn't. Look at the state of the world. Do you think we're any better after several thousand years of total denial of self? Don't think so. It's not working.
Right.
Yeah. So actually going to the dark place, opening the door. Hello, me that I left in the darkness. Hello, I've come back. I'm so sorry. Left you in here. Abandoned you. Forsaken you completely. You know, it's like you've got to go back and make peace. It's the only option. I mean, we've exhausted every other option on this planet. That's what's so amazing about this timeline that we're in right now, this time period, is that we have literally as dense beings called humans in this, you know, in this lifetime on this earth, we've gone out and explored every single other avenue. We've gone as far away from ourselves as we possibly could. We've destroyed as much as we possibly could. And people are like, no, there's still more. Like, that's been done already. What people are, you know, what this AI stuff and all this cloning and technology and all this crazy stuff, it's been done before. This is not new. That's been done before on Earth. We've just been down the same old route because we don't know how to get out of this spin cycle of self-destruction and lack. So we just keep going around doing the same things again and again and again. Everything has played out, everything. And there's only one option left, and that is to make peace and to come home. There is no other option. It's simple. You have the pain and the lack and the darkness and the suffering and the craziness and the total distortion, or you just choose to be yourself, to be in love, to be in self-fulfilling, self-trusting, self-embodying of all of it, everything, and end the sense of separation. Because when you're in a sense of separation, there's pain, there's lack, there's gaps, there's missing, there's empty, there's need, when you come into non-separation with yourself and your source, and source as self and self as source, that's a completely different reality. Like we keep saying, totally different. It's just peaceful. You're just making peace. And then of course we, you know, go around trying to help other people make peace, and that's it.
Speaking of helping others make peace, don't you have a masterclass coming up for people? Would you like to share a little bit?
I do. And I'm actually really excited because so first of all, masterclass is on Monday the 30th of May, and it's at 6 p.m. UK and 7 p.m. Central European time, as you are. And you just have to look up when you register for it, you'll get all the link for the different time zones. So, and then I don't usually have a replay. Live is live. Like you jump on live, you have the live experience, and also it's live because the very next day, Tuesday, the last day of May, is the final day of this particular set of things that I'm offering, and I had bundled in loads more bonuses yesterday. I just had this amazing, beautiful breakthrough, and I was feeling so epic, and I just had this big expansion. So I was like, I'm just going to give more. So I chucked in loads more bonuses, and there's, you know, special price discounts for anybody that enrolls now.
What is the masterclass? Just so people that don't.
Oh yeah, of course. So the masterclass basically is an hour hanging out with me, talking about the master key.
Oh,
right. So I will be sharing the master key. And I'll be able to help prove, I'm going to prove that basically this is the master key and why it works. Okay. And I'm going to be helping people find the solutions for their biggest problems professionally and personally. And it's kind of a participation event. It's not one of these things where people just watch comfortably and, you know, I do everything. It's like a workshop, because remember those days, Mary Catherine, when we were all in the same room at the same time and everybody would be jumping up and saying things and hands up and getting involved. And it's really more fun, isn't it, when you feel everybody's energy, and we're all learning and expanding and growing together and sharing and being honest and being open together. So much more fun than just listening to me for an hour. So we're going to, we have that, I try and make it as participation as possible so everybody gets to have a real experience and has a shift, a learning shift about that master key. So
that sounds amazing.
Talking things in a different way to how we've been talking, more talking the house. And and for people that really dig the masterclass and who go, you know what, I'm in a profession where I help people, where I serve people, and actually what would happen if I had the master key and I could help my people with it, because that's what you can do. It's one of those master keys, everybody can have it. It's not a Tara key, it's an everybody key. And then it becomes you, like you, Mary Catherine, you've taken it and you use it in your incredible, ingenious, unique and powerful, beautiful way. And somebody else will use it completely differently. Yeah. It's the same key, same thing, but you the way that you use it is completely unique and different, because you're being true to you. So you're not just I do my way, you do your way. And so what I'm wanting from this is, because I have my own mission, I have my own dream, because I want more love on this earth. I figure more people need to have a master key for love.
Yes, they do.
Right? So if you have a master key for love and you have a master key for self-love and you know how to use it really, really well, and then you can go out, use it on yourself, of course, and lighten up your entire life in every direction you want to. It doesn't matter which area of life it is, you use the master key, like you've said. And then you can go and use it and help other people with it and help change their lives. And I think that's going to be pretty cool work. It's going to be really fun work. And you don't have to be a professional therapist already. You can be. We have a group of professional therapists and psychiatrists and psychologists and counselors training at the moment, and it's blowing their minds. They're literally like, one woman said, why did I bother become a doctor of psychology for 7 years and being $200,000 in debt when I could have done this? Because it's reaching places that the psychology isn't.
Yeah.
So, I mean, bless her. It's humbling, right? That was humbling. It's humbling for her. But it works. And it achieves the thing that she wants, which is to help people, because that's the whole goal. Right? So you go, does it matter? You just want to help people, right? Love is the answer. So that's what the masterclass is about. And for people that want to get this master key and use it to help their people, then there's a whole kind of special offer with loads of bonuses going on, that closes by the end of May, basically by the end of Tuesday. So I'm really excited, because also I have a trained mentor, my prodigy, actually. She's absolutely wonderful, really expert, really good mentor. But she has plans over the summer, and we were going to cancel the June training and move it to September, because people have plans over summer, right? And so I was just thinking, oh gosh, maybe we should just not have it. But then I got the inspiration. It was like, I need to teach this, because I haven't taught a class for a while, since 2019. All the content is mine. I created it all, but you'd be watching it online. And then you get the live mentoring with the online content from Yasmin, right? So you get the live and the online, you do it in your own time, and then there's a call a week, and you learn more about that when you sign up, or when you go and look at the information. But I had this massive thing the other day. It was like, actually, I need to teach this. So then I got really excited because I love teaching. I haven't done it for ages.
You're amazing.
And so I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be teaching again. This is going to be really fun. Well, not, teaching live, mentoring live. And so, yeah, that's going to be really exciting. And I don't have any plans to keep doing it because I've got so many other things trying to create that helps people everywhere. But for this June training, anybody that wants to train personally with me, and I do calm down. I'm not like a muppet all of the time. I can be very serious, and no. But anybody who wants to have that mentoring with me,
it's
live.
I had it. I know what it was like. It was life-changing, and the connection you make with each of us when you're doing that, the space that you hold. I've been in quite a lot of different spaces, and with you there's a texture and essence that is incredibly healing, expansive, and enlightening. How you teach, Tara, it just lands. That's for me, that's my view now, peeps. But if you're looking, I just want to say that, I'll let you share it, Tara, but if somebody is looking for a technique, a tool for themselves, I did it for me. I never thought I'd be doing what I'm doing now.
No, you didn't. You were an engineer, weren't you?
I was working on construction sites. I thought I was going back. I was still contracting when I met you. And I was doing this because I needed a healing journey for me. And I was like, this is the best way to do it. And then suddenly I remember coming to the end of the training, and we had case studies, and I was working with people, and I was like, oh my God, wow. That was really, really exaggerated, but it was. It was like, wow. And the feedback, and it made me feel something I hadn't felt in the career that I was in. And I closed the door on that and just was like, maybe this is what I want to do. I want to spread love, and I want to help people find truth for themselves the way you helped me. And that's it. Like, we ripple each other out, I suppose.
I just love that. It's so brilliant. And you do a fantastic job. I love the things that you teach and the way that you do it, Mary. You're just super, uber fantastic. I love you bits. No, it's true. We get so close. It's true. We do. And I suppose that's been one of my challenges, is to keep distance, keep that professional distance, because I just fall in love with everybody that's on the training. And actually, it is, you will heal yourself, but it's not a course where you come and I help heal you. I have to draw that boundary, because if you want to get healed, then come see me and we'll do it on a one-to-one. But this is, yes, you will heal your life. Yes, you can't not do it. It starts with you. But I'm not going to mentor you and help you personally heal your stuff. It's literally a professional training course. It's accredited. People get CPD points. You get a wonderful certificate. This is a professional vocational training.
Yeah.
So anybody that's coming, of course, show up as fully who you are. Just don't dump your stuff. Be what you are. Own it. Own your stuff. You're so welcome. You will be loved and included, and loved even more. The more honest that you are, the more real that you are, the more love gets to come in and flow between us. But this course is not for people to come and dump their stuff and think Tara is going to fix it. I'm not. I'm sorry. That's not what this is for.
No, you're showing them the tools to do it for self.
Exactly. It's all about self. Exactly. It's all about self-empowerment. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's a self-empowerment tool. And that's why I love things like that. That's the biggest growth. That's the biggest growth, because then no matter what challenge comes up, you have the tools.
Right. And that's the thing. Some people get really cross with me about that. Get really bitter, really angry, go out saying nasty things because Tara didn't do it for them.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic of conversation, though.
Right. And it's like, I gave you everything I could. I loved you as well as I could, as any human being could. I gave you everything I promised you I would give you. And if you didn't go away and use it, I'm sorry, what can I do? Like, I'm not there to fix and heal everybody. I'm not there to make everybody feel better. I have my own life, and everybody else has theirs. theirs, that sometimes these strange expectations get put on me, I guess many others who facilitate this kind of thing. And it's like, guys, that's not going to serve you. It doesn't, honestly, it just makes me sad, because I think, damn, you missed the gift that was given to you. You missed it. Such a shame. You did so well. You were doing so great. You were so close. And then you just got this one little thing where you just freaked out and then reacted and projected. And it's like, oh no, it's such a shame. It makes me sad. But that's okay. Everyone has their own time and their own journey. And it's really none of my business.
You know what I wanted to talk about as well as your book, Tara, because that's another tool for people to gain some of those keys and understandings within themselves, because we're all going to be mirrors for everything. I Love You Me is your book. I know I'm kind of, I talk about it in a lot of my courses. I often post it, go get this book. But yeah, is there anything you'd like to share with that? Is it good for people? Is it available on Amazon?
Yeah, it is. And of course, that changed everything when I published that book. February the 9th, 2017, I published that book, self-published. And it was I'm telling you what, it was a labor of love. And it's not perfect. Again, it's like me, it's not perfect. I didn't realize until I'd edited it 50 times over and got my mum to help me edit it. And then when I was going to do the audio version, I saw there was typos and stuff in there. And I was like, no, how embarrassing. My imperfect thing is out in the world. But you know what? It doesn't really make any difference, because the message that's in that book and the way that it's written is so that, I called it pre-digested, or I heard that term, I think, from other authors, pre-digested, which means when you read it, it takes you through a journey. You actually go through a healing experience just reading it, even if you don't stop and do the exercises, even if you don't go and download the workbook or the meditation, which it comes free with the book. So it's like a whole course it's a package of self-love, self-help answers in a book, in just one book. And so it is more than a book. And yes, I mean, I've never done any marketing. There's never had an advert for my book ever. And I still get people, messaging me all the time saying, I'm reading it, and sending me photos of themselves reading it, which is awesome. And it changes lives. It really does. It's amazing. And I just can't wait, because I've always been so busy creating courses and trying to keep up with all the things that want to manifest, and I'm trying to manifest them as quick as I can. But that second edition of the book, I promised myself I'm going to bring it out this year, mend all the typos, add more stories, because there's so many amazing stories like yours, for example. I didn't know you when I wrote that book. So there's going to be many, many, many other wonderful real life stories of the healing, transformation, Abby's terminal cancer disappearing, that, those kind of life-changing stories are going to go in the book. So I'm really excited. Hold me to it, Mary Catherine. I need to finish this second edition by the end of the year.
Okay, I'm going to hold you to that, because that book has, and this is languaging I use, it has codes of self-love in it. Just reading that book will bring you closer, whether you do anything like Tara said. I recommend it to quite a lot of my clients when I'm doing I Love You Me sessions with them. Thank you for bringing it out to the world, Tara. Thank you for bringing all your tools out to the world, because I would not be here. And I say that because you are for me what you created, right? Your tools, not just you, but the tools you created were like little bricks in the road. And that's all we can ever be for people, is if we have a brick and we're going to lay it for ourselves, because we do it for ourselves first. And
we're the pilot of self-love, like, everybody hold on, put your seatbelts on, we're going on a self-love journey.
Hopefully not crash. Don't crash the plane. But it's like we're laying our foundational bricks, the yellow brick road, right, to home for ourselves. And that's like, that can be a beacon for others to go, oh, I've got bricks too. That's all we can do. I've realized the more I do this, show and tell, which is embodiment. And you've just done a massive amount of embodying yourself this year. Another layer, like.
I did. Yay. Well done, me.
Yeah.
With the help of also and the support of my friends, like, you've been amazing.
Right.
But yeah, it was an epic journey. What was I going to say? Can't remember. It's gone.
Your next course is in June.
It is.
You will be
That's
mentoring.
actually just over 2 weeks. So there's a 2-week kind of what do you call it? You know, when you're getting ready for something for 2 weeks, what's it called? Like
Preparation.
I'm just trying to think of what they call it in university. I can't remember.
It's not a lifetime ago. I don't know.
Right. Anyway, there's a whole period of like getting preparation, getting things ready. Right. So the last sign up date is Tuesday, and then it closes for June. But you can still, even, this is the beautiful thing, people can enroll now and get the benefit of all these bonuses and this limited price, because it has to go up, the price has to go up. But they can still enroll for September or even January now and get those prices, which is really cool. But if they enroll for June and they're ready to jump in just like 2.5 weeks time or whatever it is, and start with the self-learning, the online stuff, then they should just jump in. They should come to the masterclass. Even if you're just curious, even if you just want to learn something, you know you're not ready for a training, you just want to learn something and have a nice time with like vibrational people, then come hang out and we'll create a nice vibe. We'll have fun together. Yeah. Because people always feel awesome afterwards, like they're buzzing. That's the whole point.
That's how I ended up. Is you did an event and I had no plan of doing anything, but you never know what healing can happen. And I saw massive healing happens at your events, Tara. So go to that masterclass. It's a free masterclass for people to sign up for. I'll put the link. I think our link is already on the top. Yes. That's Monday the 30th, 6 o'clock GMT, 7 o'clock CET. And if anybody is interested to add another tool to their box, you'll give them the details there and they can explore that options with you. Is that the best condensed way I can say this?
It is. Like a professional radio presenter. Fantastic job.
Tick the box. I haven't looked at any questions coming through, but whatever is there in the comments, we can answer later. I'm not seeing, actually nothing's coming up. So
We'll look at it later.
We'll look at it later. We will.
You know, I was just going to say, Mary, that was the other thing. It just came to me, like, when you said, thank you for doing this, I was like, I just want you to know, it was scary. I was terrified of publishing a book and everybody would judge me. I was terrified of bringing this method out to the world because I thought people would make me wrong. I was terrified of being judged so much. I was so insecure, had no self-esteem. And then I ended up presenting on stages. I was terrified of going on stage. I didn't want to be, you know. So it's not through my own sense of, oh, let me put, you know, myself out into the world and everyone think how great Tara is. It's really because this message was coming through so strong that it burst down every door that I had put up to stop it coming through. Because I was terrified of standing out in the world and going, look, I've got this really cool thing and I can say all these, you know, I can guarantee things about it. And that's like, you're just making yourself available to get shot down by people. And of course, when you've lived many lifetimes where you have been shot down or whatever, burned for bringing something that's truly liberating and healing for humanity, you just get in deep trouble. So I was terrified. Yeah. But I want everyone to know, like, this is not about me as a person, as a human. Like, I'm just a messenger.
Well, yeah, you're the channel conduit it comes through.
Right. The message itself is its own thing, and it's so powerful. It broke down all of my doors and made me heal all my stuff to be able to be worthy to be the conduit for it to come through.
It's a roadmap. 7 steps, isn't that it? 7 steps.
7 steps. Yeah. But it's powerful. I'm telling you, it's a map and it's got a name, but it's got an energy.
It's frequency.
Got another energy. Yeah.
Just like your book. I remember reading your book, and you know, when you read a book, and again, I didn't know you really at the time, but your body vibrates, you have stuff happening. I had contractions and expansions, and that's a coded frequency, like right there. So your whole toolbox is a channeled frequency in itself. And some people will resonate immediately like me, and some people may not. They'll find something else. But if you're the people that do, just by listening to Tara and I, explore it, because there may be a reason why that's happening. I hope I'm not sounding silly, but really I wouldn't be where I am.
you know what, it's fine. I feel I've had to get used to that thought of selling, because really, in a crazy world, you do have to sell quite loudly. Hey, anybody want to be happy here? Anybody looking for love? Anyone? So you get a bit bold after all. You go, for fuck's sake, right? Can we just get back to the truth? Anyone? And so, yeah, I am.
It can be scary for people to make that choice, because
The
they got
whole
it.
thing's terrifying. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I know it's scary because I've been there and I've done that. I was terrified. Yeah, everybody. But the thing is, you let the fear rule you, or you let the love rule you, and it's really that simple. Be loved by fear, and be loved by ruled by love, and loved by loving, ruling. Just to basically just choose love. And yes, it's going to be uncomfortable because you're going to have to get out all of those bits, but it's going to be so worth it. You to be liberated in this crazy society now, where liberty is like rarer than gold. It's like we need liberty, we need freedom, we need
freedom codes, freedom
right?
techniques.
So this is the sovereignty key. This is the freedom key, and I will bang on about it because I've not just experienced in my own life, but I've seen it thousands and thousands of times over, where people's lives have literally been saved, people's souls have been saved, and so I don't feel shy about saying that anymore. I'm not scared to say this is a key for massive self-liberation.
You have the evidence.
And go use it. Go get the key. I do my best to share it. Go, come get the key. Click the link. Come find out more. Because we all can, we go around with the keys, freeing everybody. Yay! That's going to be fun. That is fun.
Pass the key around. Absolutely. Yeah. And maybe we didn't talk too much about the 7 steps today, but they are a roadmap that anybody can do. I mean, I was coming off a work site with a hard hat and a boiler suit, and this was so off the charts different for me. I did it. And I've seen, young people at your events doing this. I've seen older, like up in their 70s, people doing these techniques for themselves. So don't let anything hold you back if you want to explore this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good for everybody. Babies in the womb,
children.
children.
With kids. You've used the techniques with your own kids, and I've seen
they grew up with it. For them. And then no, it's amazing. It works incredibly well with children. Also, somebody who trained with me years and years ago, before there was certificates and everything, he worked in a hospice, and so he used it in the hospice. He was a hospice manager. So he used it with people in the house, because it was just a conversation, and he was able to help liberate their souls before they passed over. Beautiful work, really beautiful. So anybody seeking more liberation, to help others, to free others from their pain, their suffering, to help bring people back home to them true selves, to true love, and to manifestation, the abundance, the magic, the reality, the real reality. This is a fantastic way. So come check it out. Come have fun with us. My doors are always open. People come and go. They get their ideas and stuff, because I'm not perfect. I do somehow manage to upset people, and half the time, or most of the time, I don't even know why. But but it's not about me. It's really about the keys that I can give you.
Yeah, keys are there. Thank you, Tara, for sharing that. Thanks for having a chat with me as well.
You was. I love what you were saying in the beginning about beauty, Mary. I love your beauty so much. You've got the kind of beautiful face, literally, I just stare at, and it's mesmerizing.
I know.
Oh, your beauty. I do. I'm always like, it's so beautiful.
Just like the color.
It's inside and out, though. It doesn't matter whether you've got lipstick on or not. It's all, you're just supremely beautiful to me.
I love you. This is why we're friends. Like, she totally feeds me. Just again, I'm joking.
I'm just being honest.
I love you, darling, and I received that.
You.
Thank you, and I love every part of you. Thank you for those of you joining.
Thanks everyone for joining us. Thanks for hosting me and asking me these cool things and teasing out this story.
Well, this is new for me, having these chats with people as well. So It's fun.
It
It's
is.
fun.
Thanks so much, darling. All right, everyone who's watching, come to the thing on Monday. See you at the masterclass.
See you on Monday. Love you. Bye, darlings.
Bye.